Let's check out some more Karl, man. Karl Pilkington meets Michael Palin. Now, Michael Palin, I can't say I'm that familiar with Michael Palin, man. I've heard them mention him on the show, An Idiot Abroad. I think he used to have a travel channel, kind of like Karl, but his was maybe a bit serious, you know. Uh, with An Idiot Abroad, it's more kind of like satire, you know. Michael Palin was actually like, I don't know, he's famous, you know. The way Attenborough is famous in the animals, wildlife space. I think Michael Palin is also, you know, kind of like that in the travel channel space. Yeah, that's what I think. These guys revere him. I've heard Karl talk about him. He clearly respects him and is familiar with what he does. They've both done their fair share of traveling. You know, Karl with An Idiot Abroad, and Palin, I think that's what he does for a living. So they should have a lot to talk about, man. Two different perspectives, you know. That's the appeal to this already. That's what I'm looking forward to. Karl's way of thinking as far as traveling, Karl's interpretation of traveling versus Palin's interpretation of traveling. Two very different ways of thinking. Yeah, this should be a good chat, man.
Lakes. Amazing sort of lakes, which are beautiful, nice and cool. Anyway,
yeah, your book. Well, that's why you're here, isn't it?
Books, yeah, books. You got a book?
I've got a book out.
What does your book feel like?
I feel
that's nice. Oh, God.
Quite weighty, isn't it?
A rude cover, isn't it?
Yeah, I look all right, though, for my age.
And what did your partner or wife think of that?
She just...
glamorous?
She's sort of a bit, does that have to be the cover? But, you know, we've all changed. I mean, I know my body's not what it was when I first met her, but, you know.
I don't think Palin is talking about the Karl's appearance. I think he's talking about the idiot title. The Adventures of an Idiot Abroad. I think that's the part is like, is your wife okay with that? Not the appearance.
No, it isn't either. There's about 120,000 words, I think.
Yeah, gosh, well, there's only 80,000 in that. 90,000, yeah. 120,000 words, all different. Who's that guy?
He was in Russia, and he's magnet man.
Magnet. Oh, what, he's got so full of polluted...
Well, I don't know. At first, I was sort of amazed and a bit like, bloody hell, a magnet man.
Yeah.
But after a while, he was rubbing spoons on himself, and he stuck them on me. And I realised he's not magnet man, he's just sweaty man.
Yeah.
his superpower could have sort of been killed with talc.
That's a good sweaty man, isn't
Sticky sweat.
Anyway, we've got books out. I don't know how much we can say about having a book out. There's your book. Good luck with that.
In the toilet as soon as I get home.
Good night.
I went to Brazil because I thought it felt to me like it was somewhere that didn't really exist. You know, it's a kind of fantasy world. I kind of thought of that. Is it a real place, or is it just a state of mind where it's the sun's always shining and people are always on the beach?
Yeah.
And everyone's eternally happy. So I wanted to go and find out. It can't be true that there's a place like that. But it is, almost.
Did you go to a nudist beach? That's what I was taken to one of them when I was in Brazil.
No, I didn't.
You know, I don't need an all-over tan. You know, who's that for? Who's seeing that? So
what do you...
They went they went to different parts of Brazil. We saw where Ricky and Steve sent Karl, you know, the nudist beach and that area. That area I didn't like. It was too crowded, first of all. Like, when a beach is that crowded, I'm put off, man. I can't do it. I can't do, like, being naked around all those people, man. It's weird. Being half naked in front of all those people, man. You know, a deserted beach where people are scattered is more my style. Where there's a lot of open space. When it's crowded like that, kids playing around, it's just too much. I can't do it. I don't get the appeal. Now, Palin probably went to, like, a resort side of Brazil. You know? Maybe a resort-esque area of Brazil where there were, like, just smoke shows walking around in bikinis all day. That's probably, but I doubt. If you're doing a travel channel, you don't do that tourist shit, man. if you're doing a travel channel, you it's best to go and see what shit is really like, So I'd be surprised if Palin just went and just hung out at a resort and documented that as his visit to Brazil, but I still think they went to very different places, man. Yeah.
You wear?
Who's that for? Who's seeing that? So
What do you wear normally? If you're on a Brazilian beach, what would you be wearing?
I had sort of, quite long shorts on. I like having pockets that I can shove stuff in.
Yeah. Action trousers,
yeah,
I like to call them.
Yeah, I like them. Keep a t-shirt on. Hat, so I don't burn my head.
Yeah.
Socks with trainers.
That's really...
I'm just so happy that I found all this Karl content because I've seen everything. I've seen An Idiot. I've seen Ricky Gervais show. Sick of it, I haven't seen Morning of Life. I was at a point, and I've listened to the insults on videos on YouTube. I've fallen asleep to them just cackling in the background, Ricky waking me up occasionally because I was loud laughing. I've done all that, but for some reason, there are like certain videos that have just gone under the radar for me. The Satisfied Fool, the deleted scenes, this Michael Palin video. I'm like, where has this stuff been? I've only seen stuff surrounding. These are like separate videos where Karl is doing an interview with someone. It's just Karl by himself, doing something by himself. I've mostly just focused on the three of them doing stuff together. Maybe I need to check out more of Karl's stuff because this is after An Idiot Abroad, yeah? You see the theme, you see what they're going for. But it's like just a side thing. It wasn't part of the series. They should have had it as part of the show, An Idiot Abroad, like the episodes where Karl comes home and they do a debrief. They should have had these as extra episodes, bonus episodes, because this just go, like I missed this completely for years.
The overdressed.
Yeah. Socks with trainers.
That's really overdressed for a Brazilian beach, isn't it?
I did feel it, but
it's dressed for winter.
No, I know.
So what happened on the nudist beach then? And you couldn't sort of
I sat
stand
there,
around in all your gear.
They took me there early, and I was sat down, and then I just saw this bloke put sort of under a tent getting drinks ready for the day.
Right. I remember him.
And he bent over to go in the fridge, and it was one of those sort of double takes. I've got no pants on.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're thinking, what are you thinking? Why are you showing that off? I mean, I don't like my body. If I look at it, if I get a glimpse of it in a shower, or I had to have a medical check, and I told him I had a bad back, and in the end, he sort of said, drop your trousers. So I did, and he went, no, your underpants as well.
Yeah.
And I haven't had that.
Bad back.
For a bad back, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And but you do, because if a doctor tells you to.
Dude, Michael Palin seems very, very chill, man. Is there a relation to Sarah Palin here? Or is this no relation? Is this a completely different person? Is there a Sarah Palin connection here? What the fuck? Let me know, man. That would be cool. It'd be interesting discovering something like that. But yeah, it seems pretty relaxed, man. I expected a really, really, really serious guy.
Something you do, don't you?
Did he ask you to
cough?
And
he
they
did
held
that.
your balls?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did that, and then he someone back up. But the thing is, I was stood in front of a mirror, and I saw a glimpse of me stood there with my trousers around my ankles, and it was something that I just thought, that's horrible. It's a horrible sight, and you should keep covered up. There's nothing that I thought, I wish I could show this off more.
The thing is, Karl, that you never seem to really be enjoying yourself when you're out there.
I don't know. At the end of the day, I lie there, wherever I am, and the amount of times I'm lying somewhere, like a hole somewhere or a tent, just thinking, what am I doing? Loads of times.
Yeah.
Why am I doing this? Nearly 40. I should just get a normal job.
I'm nearly 70. I still write down, why am I doing this?
Why do you do it?
Why do I do it? Good question. Gets me out of the house.
Yeah, but you see, I like being in the house. That's when I'm most happy. Pottering about, painting a door. I was cleaning tiles yesterday.
Were you?
floor tiles.
And you're
Sat
happy?
there with Sif.
Yeah.
Just sort of like, it's like Buddhism, just
Yeah.
Zen.
Yeah, because what I like about travelling, I don't know whether you have this quite the
Karl
same.
is a
is that
simple man.
it is a bit. It's an adventure in another world. I quite like that. I kind of surrender to it because I want it to be different. I enjoy the difference. I mean, do you
Yeah.
like when you were growing up or whatever? I mean, do you read books about foreign places? Do you? No, you didn't go into all that because I like geography at school. Did you like geography?
Oh.
No.
You see, it wasn't. I went to a rubbish school, so it was kind of. I think the geography teacher was a PE teacher, and it was. You know, we didn't get taught anything really.
It was like that in my school too, man. But it wasn't a rubbish school, you know. But I remember, you know, the PE teacher being the, you know, it was just some teacher who just taught something else and just, you know, decided to, yeah, fucking, I'll teach PE. Fuck it, you know. I guess that's the vibe, you know. And sometimes they would just cancel PE and just decide it's a maths lesson now. And like, dude, it's our free time. What the fuck? We've been looking forward to this lesson, free lesson, all week. And because you don't want to do PE, you're like, it's a geography lesson now. Yeah, that used to happen in my school too, man. I don't know if it's because the school is understaffed or if it's just you know, they I feel like the Ministry of Education dictates that there must be PE in the schedule, in the weekly schedule, maybe once a week. That's how it was for us, once a week. So they're like, it must be there. But some schools don't even respect it. Some schools just fucking cancel it out and teach another subject instead because they're like, this is more important. So I don't know if it's an understaffing issue or if it's just an attitude like this shit is not important. You know, I think it's the attitude. Like, oh, we have games time, we have sports break at the end of classes. Why do we need this this weird physical education lesson right in the middle of everything? You know, and they used to just let us do stuff. It wasn't like actual education. It was like just free time where we just went to the field and just relaxed for like 45 minutes. You know, there wasn't actual physical education going on. None of that.
The first place I went abroad was Ibiza, when I was 22.
It's not quite abroad, really, is it? Sort of, or did you savour the lovely sort of foreign countryside and Spanish culture?
No, it was a mate who knew someone who had a sort of a villa there, and it was horrible. And the problem was he rented it out to anyone, and we got there and the toilet was full and had like a hard crust because of the hot weather. And the first day was spent sort of chipping away at that. So that was my first experience of this exotic travel, sort of chipping away at the hard layer, you know, getting through to the softer stuff before you could actually flush it. So it's not, for me, it wasn't
not a
like,
good
oh,
introduction.
where have I been, you know?
Yeah.
Dude, that's a traumatizing experience. He just goes over it like it's nothing, man. Fuck. It's like frozen shit, man. And you have to like chip away at it to like get it to go. That's shit, man. It's shit, bro. Imagine that, man. I've seen some fucking toilets in my life, man. Some fucking toilets, bro. Now I'm trying to imagine them in my mind, frozen, and me having to chip away at it, like cleaning them. Oh my god, man.
I should do more of this.
The most sort of memorable
I'm drinking
bit
something.
of travelling
too.
I ever did was when I was on the Down. The Sound man particularly didn't really like any foreign food. And as soon as we got on the boat, they said, we'll do a curry. We'll include you in it. We should have some curry. And he said, no, we've got our food. And he gets this great clunky tin of Sainsbury's tuna out. And so he opens it, and it slides out, this kind of wobbly, gelatinous mass. Boom. And you just know what you want to eat. You want the curry, whatever's in it. You
Yeah, I
don't
suppose
really
so.
want that
You
thing
don't want
there.
to eat something that's sat in
Would
a
you
tin.
have eaten the Sainsbury's tuna?
Probably. Yeah, you can still travel and pick up quite a lot from seeing the world without having to eat
Without
the
eating?
food. Without eating their food.
I don't see how.
Nah, you can't, man. You can't get the full experience if you don't do the food part. If you're doing a travel channel, that's a major That's a major cultural change. Like, that's one thing where if you study human beings and the stuff they eat, that's where you'll see like people really fucking do eat some. There's range, man. There's insane range, man. You need to, because that's what those people put in their bodies. That's who they are. So if you eat their food, yeah, it's part of the experience. You have to, man. You have to. But unless it's some really weird stuff. Actually, scratch that, man. Dude, if people are eating really weird stuff, then maybe not. Maybe not. Because some cultures, all due respect, nothing against people and what they eat, but it's insane. You know, some foods are insane to me, and I'm sure some foods are insane to you. But that's culture. That's culture, though. That's culture. Like I said, there's insane range when it comes to that. Food is just the perfect barometer for culture, man.
How you can do that? I think
Into eat
without eating.
Food, clothing, what else? What else really defines a people? The food they eat, the way they dress, the language they speak. Like these are real markers, you know? These are real fucking markers.
without eating their food.
I don't see how you can do that. I think food is so important to get to know, get the feel of how people live. You know, I mean,
No, but
go
you
to
can see
Japan and
it.
not have sushi or sashimi, or go to China and you know.
But I did go to Japan and I saw. Have you seen the little? I think they're called bento boxes,
Oh yeah.
and they're about that big,
Yeah.
and they look brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, the presentation is amazing. They're like a little box of sort of Thornton chocolates. The way they look, you're going, oh, that looks
Yeah,
brilliant.
yeah.
But instead of sort of a coffee cream, you open it, it's sort of fish arse with a squid bollock shoved in.
Yeah.
You think that, as nice as that looks, it's still a squid bollock.
But do you feel, you know, foods are very much a part of hospitality?
A squid bollock, man. I don't think. How do you even see a squid bollock, man? I've never seen a squid. Are they big? Is it possible to be like, you know, when you slaughter a goat and you're skinning and you're dismembering and doing all that, yeah? Gutting it. When you start cutting the pieces, at some point you're like, this is the dick, these are the balls, you throw them away. I wonder if when you don't do that with fish. Are squids big enough to the point where you can be like working on them, like after capturing them or whatever, where you're like, this is the balls, these are the balls, and this is the dick? Because I picture squid to just be like mushy. They're just mushy things to me, you know? I don't imagine them having bones. They just look like something when you touch, it's just like all slippery, like an octopus. It's like, do they even have, I'm sure they have reproductive organs, but are they like big enough to be served on a plate and stuff? Like a bull, like balls, like you can serve bull's balls, cow balls. Blah, blah.
Isn't it? It's about the kind of, if you want to relate to the people you're meeting, you've got to sort of sometimes have the food they offer, because that's the first sign of hospitality, or the drink.
It depends how much fuss. Sometimes I can sort of say, oh, I'm okay, thanks. And then they'll go, no, have some. And you go, oh, I ate, I've already eaten, I'm fine, you have it. Give it to your family, you know, don't worry about me. But then they keep pushing it.
Yeah, of course they do. It's
And, you know, in Jordan,
It's not about, oh, you're hungry, eat. It's the experience what we eat, man. People want you to experience what they go through, man. You know, it's not about, you're hungry. It's just like, this is what we eat. Have a taste of this. Taste this, man.
it was an eye off a lamb. And they were going, in Jordan, it was an eye off a lamb. And they were going, because your guests have an eye.
I remember.
Well, I don't want an eye.
No.
You know, thanks for having me, but I don't want it. And what was a worry was, it was a big pan with this lamb head in it. There was one eye. Where's the other eye?
No.
What condition was this lamb in?
Yeah.
And then you're getting a vision of some manky old lamb with one eye sort of and one weeping. And I just thought, I don't want to eat it.
You've got a very vivid
Oh,
imagination.
it just, honestly, it was horrible. And everyone's sat around,
they're all
you know,
waiting,
off the tits, they're all
Yeah.
smoking. So, eat the eye.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, these aren't local, these are nutters.
But they're not nutters. They've been eating eyes for years, I should think.
What are
haven't
they doing eating eyes? I don't know, you've had a lamb somewhere. Where's the rest of it? Why am I getting the head?
I find toilets abroad, I was a bit sort of embarrassed about doing a sequence where you go to the toilet, but people love that. They love it. I mean,
everyone does it.
I mean, the Alan Wicker program.
With Karl, the way he thinks, it's like this is him and this is you. And at some point you're thinking in the same direction, and then it gets to a point Karl goes this way and you go this way. So for a while you're like, okay, I get this, we're on the same page, and then he just makes an insane detour that just makes him Karl Pilkington. He takes the Karl Pilkington path, man. And you just go your own way, where most of us go. It takes a detour at some point. You're able to keep up with him, and then at some point he just hops off the ride and starts walking by himself.
Doing toilets abroad, I was a bit sort of embarrassed about doing a sequence where you go to the toilet, but people love that. They love it. I mean,
everyone does it.
I mean, the Alan Wicker programs and all that. We never say Alan Wicker going to take a dump because that wasn't part of it. We went to the toilet in the South Pole, and I sat there, and there was kind of blocks of ice had been dug around. You just sat there on the john, and you looked for 10,000 miles. You wouldn't be able to see anything at all. Nobody at all.
But I found that a lot easier because I had the same thing there, and at least somewhere like that, with it being freezing, you don't get people out walking a dog, do you? You sort of think, I'll just have a shit in this gap. Yeah. There's no one going to come wandering past. Whereas in India, everywhere's busy. Yeah. Even if you go down an alley, you think, I can go down here and empty my bowels. And there's a family of 12 living there or something. There's no gap, there's no space.
While we're on it, squat toilets I quite like. Do you like those?
Can't do it. Can't do it.
Oh dear.
Like them.
It's like my stomach's going, I'm not coming out.
Squat toilets suck, man. Especially if you're like a big dude, man. It's a nightmare. Latrines, pit latrines, so you have to squat, man. Dude, it's like... I need a training camp to prepare for that shit, bro. I need a 6-week training camp. I need to cut weight, weigh in at a certain weight so I can go there and squat effortlessly, man. Pit latrines are a fuck you to fat people. Those are a fuck you to fat people, man. Which makes me wonder, because that's like how everyone used to do it back in the day. The outhouse, all that stuff. That used to be the vibe back in the day. So I'm thinking, like, back then, were there fat people? How did they get on, man? They get on the way we do today. We still use pit latrines from time to time. But I dread pit latrines. Every time I'm like, oh my god. What kind of toilets do they have here? Pit latrines. Fuck. Nightmare, man. Nightmare, man. If you're fat, man.
I'm not releasing anything. You're not sat on a seat. It's like a safety thing. I was trying it before I left on the trip before India. The first time I went, I knew that was going to be the case. And I tried it at home. I put out newspaper in the toilet. I didn't even tell my girlfriend. I just wanted to see if I can do it. Couldn't do it.
Well, that's probably because you're at home and you put newspaper on the floor. It's actually sort of, whatever the word is, physically, it's a very good position to be in.
But for me, the toilet thing is a big part of my life in a way. It's something I do look forward to. If the day ever came that I had to have a bag, I think it's almost like that moment's been taken away from me. That just me in a little room, door shut.
Yeah.
It's me time. I always said that. It's a chance just to get away from everyone.
Yeah.
And people leave me alone when I'm in there,
Usually, I hope so, yeah.
Yeah, but well, you'd be surprised.
The publishers can't ring you up when you're on the toilet. Have your mobile with you or not?
I do, yeah.
Do you now?
Yeah.
God.
Well, that's the closest I get to multitasking, that. Yeah.
Do you now? Publishers can't ring you up when you're on the toilet. Have your mobile with you or not?
I do, yeah.
Do you now?
Yeah.
God.
Well, that's the closest I get to multitasking, that.
It looks like Michael Palin had an amazing experience in Brazil. He's written a whole book about Brazil there. The end screen there. Or maybe he's done books about different countries, man. Cool dude, pretty chill. I like how that's clearly someone who's traveled a lot, man. Like, he's known for that. But I expected a certain snobbiness that I didn't get. Snobbishness? You know, it was cool, man. It was cool. It was really fun. Some Karl videos have just gone under the content completely, under the radar completely. I thought I'd seen everything Karl. I'm like looking at the side here to see if I find anything. Trying to see if there's something new. Something I haven't seen. I think that's it, man. But maybe I'll find more. Let me see. Karl. Pilkington. Karl. Just did a search here. Trying to see if I find something new here. Most of this stuff I've seen. Most of it I've seen. So yeah, man, that was really funny, man. I love Karl. We all do. We all do. And he's just the epitome of genuine and real, and you know, the way he's handled fame, you know, even not even the way it handled, like, I don't think he's like, this is how I'm going to handle my fame. You can just see that he's just not about this stuff, man. He did his thing, and now I don't even know what he does now. He's that gone, man. Like Bigfoot, bro. Like, it's so weird. It's so weird. He just disappeared from us. And I discovered Karl after he was retired, which is just, you know, back when they were doing this stuff, I wasn't watching, you know. I came to discover him after he's long retired. This stuff was done. And I just wonder what he's doing today, man. You know, he should do a podcast. Like the way Bill Burr does. He doesn't even need to have someone else. It should just be. I've seen some videos where it's him just talking in his car, where he's doing a rant about something. But I don't think he does them that much. He should just do like a weekly thing where he talks about his week, um, the news, and just he gives us a debrief just once. Just once. Once a week, man. We're not even asking for much. Imagine, man. He'd challenge a lot of, maybe not, but I think he'd get a lot of, but he's a very private man. He'd get a lot of listeners and stuff. But that doesn't motivate Karl. Karl is not like, oh, Karl is like, no, I have to fucking please these people once a week, every week. That's how Karl would think about it, I think. He'd be like, no, fuck. I can't be bothered with this one. That's his attitude. That's what he'd be like. He'd be like, no, I have to take time out of my week to please this listeners. Now I've put pressure on myself. Questions about the old days, and you're going to work with Ricky and Steve again. They're probably sick and tired of answering those questions. Like, I can only imagine if Karl was like on social media like that. Imagine how much he'd get bombarded with that question, man. But you know, I just hope wherever Karl is, I just hope he's happy, he's chill. I hope everything is okay. I hope Suzanne and him are still together. I hope they're happy, both of them. Like, if there's a way to send like goodwill or good wishes or good vibes to someone in the universe, if that is a thing, then I'm putting them out there, man. I just hope this man is happy and enjoying life, because he's just made me laugh so much, man. One of my favorite people of all time. Is a comedy entity. Karl Pilkington. I've never found anything funnier. He's just the goat, man. He's the goat, man. He's the goat. And I love that it's someone like him who doesn't give a fuck about this shit. That's perfect. That is perfect. He's the goat, man. Yeah. The legend of Karl Pilkington, man. I'll see you guys later.